Wasn't me.
Yeah, someone changed something, I don't know what. Anyway, this week we released a small kind of patch week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was one big question that arose from the threads. Why did we remove magic seeds from the raids drop table?
We removed them due to them crashing in price, and well, I mean the difference with it than other items kind of crashing is that seeds don't get used up as quick as, like, they don't get taken out the economy as much as they were getting put in. So they got taken off.
Well,
yeah, because obviously you plant them, they grow. There's a time stuff involved with that, so that was the reason why. Yeah.
Okay, cool. If you've got any other questions about this this week's update, just plug them in the chat and we'll answer them when we can. RuneFest. Hype.
Yes.
It's this weekend. Excited?
Yeah, it's tense. It's that kind of, I don't. It's really hard to communicate what it's like in Jagex at the moment. There's a lot of people kind of running about, kind of pulling hair out, desperately trying to get things right. Yeah.
With everybody going to try to get pollen from different plants and.
That's it. It's like, yeah, I like that. It's a sped up beehive.
Basically,
just watch that. Yeah, on time lapse.
So we're going to be streaming the whole of the main stage presentations. The second stage presentations will be recorded, so we'll be able to show those a week or two afterwards. And the stream will start at 9 game time, which is 10 BST, so 10 British time. Double XP weekend. That was cool. I got a total of 1 level.
1 level? Is that because you're so ridiculously high level?
No, it's because I was so ridiculously busy.
Oh, okay.
I got 99 thieving. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh, great.
Congratulations. So I've got a few stats because people are asking for stats. So there will be a full, kind of like we usually do, page of stats that we post on the forums and on Reddit. But here are a few just in the meantime. So there was a total of 1.2 trillion XP gained, which is quite a lot, which is equivalent to 93,428 people going from 1 to 99 in one skill, or 3,593 people maxing in all skills.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if one of those people did actually max. Can you do it in a weekend? No.
Yeah, from going 1 to 99 all skills all in one weekend is
That's
probably
impossible.
A bit much. Total levels gained 5,788,194. Summoning was the most XP heavy skill, as we could expect, with Herblord just behind. But smithing was the skill which gained the most levels, and I can account for one of those. Sorry.
2 for myself.
Oh, great, well done. And farming was a less popular one. So there you go, that was some of the stats from WXP Weekend. There'll be more on the forums and on Reddit, so check those out in a few days' time, I'm guessing, from what more Poggy said. Right, we're going to skip over to the computers now, so Mod Mady's going to show us what she's been doing for virtual leveling.
Over there.
And in the meantime, could you explain why you chose to develop virtual leveling?
Virtual leveling, as Millie's just about to show, is we chose to do it because it's one of those kind of ideas that's popped up from a few JMods, but also like it appeared on like RuneLabs and stuff.
Okay.
So we went, yeah, it's a great idea. Let's get on there. Lots of people kind of going from 99 to 120 and such. It kind of helps you along the way with like nice
little ding.
Getting levels
cool,
and stuff like that. But yeah.
Okay, so hopefully Mod Mady is ready, and we'll be able to go over to the computers to show this off.
Okay, so here I am standing in front of a tree. I'm going to turn virtual leveling on. So what is virtual leveling? It's a way of leveling past level 99, but only virtually, so it does not influence gameplay. So there you go, I've turned it on. You can see now I've got like level 100 in a few skills, level 110 there. There's also a trim we can put on here. There we go. This is what happens when you've got level 99. You've got the nice golden trim here. A slightly nicer one over level 110 skills. And then you've got these little icons here, which you've got a whole selection of them, as you can see. And these will appear over the stats where you've got 120. That's for the first one, and if you reach the XP cap, so that's that amount of XP, you can have a crystal one, and again you can choose to have a different one. So I'll put a dragon there just for the lulz. So does it allow you to level up? Yes, it does. So if you click on that, and I'm gonna hopefully get a bit of strange rock, perfect, and ta-da! I now have level 100 wood cutting. Thank you. There we go. So yes, you don't get skill guides updates anymore because there's nothing there. It doesn't affect gameplay if you've got boosted stats, and it will revert for that skill to level 99 because it wants to show you what actually matters for the game. Yes, I am French. And yes, there you go. That was mostly virtual leveling. There you go.
Pretty simple.
And yeah, you can turn it off. If you look at somebody else's skills, you will be able to see their virtual leveling if you've got turned it on. If you don't, then you don't. There you go.
Cool.
There you go.
Cool, thanks for that. Well done.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
Yeah, it's
I'm not going to use it
really
for a long
nice little
time,
thing.
but
Yeah, I think well we put on Twitter the other day, like showed it off sort of thing. We got really good reception and stuff. So
what's nice about it is it's not intrusive. If you've got it turned on, you can see other people's.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you've got it turned off, then you don't see other people's. It's just whatever you want, basically, whatever your flavour.
Yeah, it's cool.
Really good.
Anyway, let's move on to a few general questions before we talk about the Falador rework. So, Axel wants to know, there have been there haven't been any powers to the player polls recently. Are there any in the midst?
RuneFest.
RuneFest.
So RuneFest will talk a little bit more about how player power is working in the future.
Okay.
I know it feels a little bit like there's that kind of down period, but we will talk about that a bit more and how it's going to work for 2016.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we're just kind of looking at Rune Labs. You know, the ninjas are hovering over it. We're hovering over it just to see if there are other ideas to take. Admittedly, it feels like, you know, it's the smaller updates that are being taken, but we do have a plan.
Yeah, I think more the question was probably a bit more about the polls.
Right.
I'm not sure. Do we have polls planned? I think you.
Rune Labs, RuneFest. Sorry, RuneFest. Yeah, I want to talk about it at RuneFest. We've got a little section.
Every question with RuneFest.
Can I just? I've got one card. I've got my RuneFest card that I can use once per live stream, and I'm using it now. We're going to talk about how we're using polls from now on in the RuneScape Reveal section, which is 4 o'clock BST, which is 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock game time.
3 o'clock game time. So check that out, not only because of that, but because, hells yeah, we've got some awesome announcements.
Cool.
I think in general, like now we're not doing the criteria stuff every month for the Rune Labs. That as teams we could probably do a bit more with the polls as well. I think we just need to kind of start getting back into the hang of that.
Yeah,
really.
I mean that's kind of the general gist of what we say at RuneFest is that we actually, I think you guys got the most out of it, most out of polls. Got more out of polls than you did Rune Labs, and I think that's the kind of direction you're going to be looking at for 2016.
Okay, cool. Colifin wants to know, with Pi spending more and more time on Darkscape, are we going to get a new JMod specifically dedicated to fixing combat? I
wouldn't really say Pi was dedicated to fixing combat before Darkscape.
Okay.
Like, he knows a lot about it and was involved a lot with stuff, but he was doing other ninja stuff as well as combat stuff. So I feel like as an overall team, we look at combat and stuff.
You've got you've got combat pretty much. I mean, you've got Mod Manti, Mod Chaos, you've got Mod Hunter. These are all strong, combat savvy guys. So we've got it.
Players
we look at it sort of thing.
Well,
yeah. We've got like a team. We have like meetings and stuff with combat, the more combat knowledgeable people and stuff like that when we decide stuff and whatnot. So it isn't just like down to one person. You're on combat, next combat sort of thing.
It's not how Ninja works either. It's you look at what's going to be of greatest benefit to the game, and then you prioritise it. It's not like one person dedicated to combat.
But obviously, like where some people are particularly interested in a certain subject, then we try to give them that,
make sure it's
that sort of
represented.
content. So for someone like Pi, he is very interested in combat type stuff. So everything we tend to give him is more combat type stuff. We don't give him quests, for example, because people are like, well, Stu seem to be. I don't want to talk for you, but you're more passionate about quests, right? And so that we deliberately like give you more quests to sink your teeth into. Sort of thing. So,
Okay, completely unrelated question. Any chance to see Tormented Demon or Glacial pets in the near future or any time?
We've got no plans as Ninja.
No, we've got no plans. That's nice. It is cool.
Yeah.
There's things like kind of with our character and animation guys, we want to do legendary pet overrides. All these things that keep on cropping up. So it's just finding the right.
It's also you start doing them, and then people will be like, "Oh, just another 2 to add to the
Yeah,
list."
come on, where's the Rune Dragon?
Where's the next 2? And then suddenly every Slayer mob has a pet for it. So those aren't considered. They're not bosses and stuff. So that's why they don't have pets.
Okay, so it's not something that we're looking to do. It's not something we've got in the
Yeah, not right now.
It's not something we'll say
But
never
it's
to.
nice.
Yeah, it's a nice idea. Wirio wants to know, how is Dueling Everywhere coming along?
So I have to admit that Darkscape has kind of put that on hold a bit.
Okay.
It's been lost in the shuffle a little bit. We've kind of like, a lot of the Darkscape stuff was done by the Ninja team. We're kind of over that blip, that hill that kind of Darkscape has been in terms of like how Ninja works sort of thing. So we are getting back to some of the more ninja-y stuff. So hopefully we will be able to pick it up kind of in the near future. We do actually have like a new content developer in the team. We're training him up at the moment. So that kind of also then takes a bit of time. Like Mod Hunter's been training up, so Mod Hunter hasn't been doing as much work at the moment. But then in the near future, hopefully like both of them are back to they're back to making content and stuff. So hopefully kind of like in a month's time or something like that, we'll be back to doing a lot more ninja stuff. We've got some other stuff to get through as well, so I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna fit in at this time, but yeah, I hope to. I've definitely not forgotten about it. It's something that I definitely want to get out.
I know, I've just been to a practice session for the combat talk, which is the first session on the main stage at RuneFest, and they're going into a bit more detail about it. So that's worth kind of just tuning in for.
You thought that your RuneFest card again, didn't you?
No, that's a different card, surely. Okay, all right.
But if you're at RuneFest, at the same time, there's a ninja panel on, and I feel like you might be better.
Who organised that, eh? Terrible.
So New Dominia wants to know, wait for it, is there a new content planned involving New Dominia, as his name goes,
okay.
The homeworld of the Iceni?
No, nothing at the moment. Who knows? That could be part of Death of Chivalry 2 or something like that.
Depending on the project, it's something that I mean, I'm certainly placing a home base for Ceridome, or at least as another world to go to for the Iceni would be a great thing to do. It's a matter of just what project occurs and whether it's appropriate. Yeah,
I must admit we had, for example, Tarviad. We didn't have any plans to go to the Elf homeworld, and then Green Labs kicked in, a poll happened, and now the Seren Quest was made. So it can creep up, and you just don't expect it. That's what I love about working on RuneScape.
Cool. Midday Breeze wants to know if there are any other items in the works for treasure trails.
Got a Kelpie cam coming up in a bit.
Apparently we've got a Kelpie cam coming up in a bit, okay. So are there any new items apart from blood dyes that are being developed for treasure trails? You don't have to say what they are, just are there any new ones?
Not at this time. Blood dyes obviously came through Rune Labs. Was very popular. I'm worried because there's camera fiddling going on, sorry. I believe there might even be something in the kind of ninja quickfire rounds or something later on. If people were particularly keen on something, then I guess kind of Rune Labs is the way to go at the moment. I haven't ruled out doing a kind of treasure trail update in the future. I don't want to say like near, soon or anything like that, because obviously I talk a lot about stuff that's on Ninja Backlog, so it is well down there. Where we'll do maybe some other stuff where we focus on like actual clue types and stuff like that.
But there's definitely scope for more stuff in clues at some point.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
But nothing along with blood dyes.
Okay, cool. What Rushski wants to know, can we see a quest in the future where we can travel back in time again, but this time to see the Empire of Azaros before it falls?
It would be certainly a very interesting thing to do.
Yeah, I think we've never been... So I've never been... I've never hidden the fact that I'm not a big fan of time travel. I think as soon as you start introducing a lot of time travel, then a lot of things could have gotten resolved. Why not? Let's say Gothics and various things. Everybody can be brought back from the dead and things like that. But we've talked about God Sagas before.
Yeah, in terms of like flashback quests, things that aren't necessarily going to change causality, but you can see parts of the game's history and actually be within them.
There's fraud to that. You don't play as your player character, so all those levels you've gained are gone, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah. But the notion of doing a God Saga is pretty cool. We've got really loads of ideas that we'd love to, talk about. Godsagas did pretty well in a survey we did recently. Yeah.
Cool. Just one last question before we go to the Falador Rework about quests again. Are there any plans for signature hero quests anytime soon?
Do you tell us? Or do you have to say RuneFest again?
Oh man, no, I can't this time. I've used up my card, which means I've got to go somewhere else.
RuneFest.
All right.
The great thing about the signature heroes is they're so malleable. You can use them in multiple situations. Yeah. I know for a fact, for example, we don't have to do a Raptor storyline. The Raptor can kind of parachute into existing stories and stuff like that. I mean, I know for a fact that we'd like to do some Raptor storyline stuff.
Okay.
I know that we've the desert is probably one of the continuation quests we'd like to do most. So Ozan could filter into that.
Yeah.
Ariane's very much in the air. The Death of Chivalry 2 you'd love to do.
Of course, yes.
But there are no immediate plans at the moment. But that was really quite popular in the survey, in polls we've done as well.
Yeah, cool. So, Stu, would you like to go over to... Oh, no, sorry. Falador Rework. Just a few questions before you go over to the computers to show off what you've been working on.
Great.
Apparently we've got a Kelpie cam, which is going to be...
Yes, this is the best.
Okay.
I think Mod Balance has his own personal Kelpie cam. There it is.
For his private collection.
Mod Balance is very easy.
He's been laughing at this,
by the way.
Doesn't like Balance's obsession with me.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, right. Back to Falador Rework.
Have we got that? We've got that out of your system now.
Stop messing around. Stop messing
Right.
around.
Can we clarify if the Falador Invasion event is a world event or a festive event?
It uses some elements from world events in that I'm largely reusing a lot of code. So white knights and black knights in an area fighting each other, you kill them using that mechanic, them spawning in, going to a contested zone, using that. But it's certainly not on the same scale as a world event, and we're not using any of the faction mechanics of a world event.
Okay, so you don't actually have to choose a side.
So there are two sides, but you don't have to choose who you're fighting against. The rewards are exactly the same. So you can you don't have to sign up with a particular faction. You can kill white knights or black ones. You can engage with activities on either side, and it's more of a matter of personal choice.
Okay.
We are saving information about how many kills there have been on each side, who's helped with each activity. So we'll have those metrics available to publish later, but we're not going to present them at the time, because we found that with the world events, people would tend to be aware of which faction was the most popular and then all jump onto that same bandwagon.
Okay, makes sense. And what made you decide to do a Falador invasion to introduce a new Falador rework?
Well, your question, I think.
Yeah, it's always been a struggle because it's really important that we continue to graphically rework areas. I mean, whenever we put a new piece of content out there, we want it to look the best that we possibly can, but then that clashes with existing areas that might be just next door. Obviously, we want new players. I'm sure everybody wants new players to play RuneScape and kind of keep it healthy. If you look at kind of screenshots and it's still, you know, it's 10 years, 15 years old, you know, it's not going to be as enticing. So it's important we do graphical reworks. Yeah. The problem we've often found is, like, if you see that in an update week, you're like, oh, no, some people say no update week, you know, or what have you, that it's not given as much kind of weight, even though it's a lot of work has gone into it, which is a real shame. And so we're playing around with ways that we can kind of make it more valuable. Okay. Like, how can we bring people into the area? And we think we've hit on something really nice with this. I really like what you're about to see, because it kind of gives you reasons to go to every single or a lot of the locations that are there.
Yeah. So I think we've got some concept art here. If you want to show it on screen, we can maybe talk about this a little bit.
Well, this project has been a long time coming. The environment rework was originally done back in 2012, 2013. It was the work of a few artists over the course of about a month or two, graphically updating the Falador environment. So there's some concept art of what was planned for it. We didn't actually wind up going as detailed as that, but because there's a lot of like bespoke buildings there, but things are a lot more kit-based. But certainly the blue roofs and the white walls and so forth, the buttresses, that was carried through. Yeah,
we were talking about it. So I was talking to the environment artist when we first started concepting this, and the idea of like really affluent, so like really kind of well-off estate was what we were going for. It's kind of marble walls. Oh, hello.
And this is something that we've made specifically for the event aspect.
The pig's essential.
Yes, absolutely. So the concept art was actually done by a mod demo in the Guardians team during part of his tap time, we wanted to do a little bit of 2D art. So we did the concept as well as doing the modeling of these characters. These are the champions for the Black Knights and the White Knights, who are these mini bosses that you can kill every half an hour during the event.
Okay, cool. And I think we've got a photo. Oh, yeah, there you go. The castle.
Yeah, so those are a few bits of kit detailing. Again, some of the detail didn't quite convey with at the time that they had available, but elevating the castle on top of this rocky foundation, building out grander bridges and so forth. And you'll be seeing those shortly. Yeah, the statues along the outside, making it themed around the Falador Knights. It's come across really well, I think.
Because of course you can forget that Falador is not only about the White Knights, it's also about dwarves, and we wanted to give that feeling of a mind city or those levels below it that could be mined.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go to a Falador Rework quickfire round.
Ooh.
So this is try to answer as many questions as we can very quickly, just
cool.
like basic questions. So, will the Falador Siege event have activities for skillers or pures?
Yes.
Will the Falador event be members only?
It will be available to free to play.
Cool. Is it a 2-week-long event?
It is.
Will there be PvP during the event?
No.
No PvP. Will there be activity, or will this be safe PVM then?
It will not be safe, but you're unlikely to die unless you're negligent. So the combat difficulty, this is not quick fire.
That's fine, that's fine.
Yeah, the combat difficulty scales and is about the same sort of difficulty as Battle of Lumbridge.
Okay. Will the result of the event impact on the lore of the game at all?
You'll be delving into some of the history to Falador itself and the history of the Kinshra. So it's more looking back.
Okay. How many White and Black Knights will be fed to the giant mole?
I love the degree of cruelty in that question, but sadly none.
Since God's not involved in the Siege of Falador event, is it considered to happen in the 5th or the 6th age?
6th age.
Will the Siege of Falador outcome have any effect on Falador design or Kintrasaurus storyline? We've already kind of answered that.
Yeah, and it's going to be more of a footnote in history. It's not on the same sort of scale as the original Siege of Falador.
Will the layout of the buildings and residential buildings remain the same?
The footprint of Falador remains the same.
Okay. Are there any new music tracks?
Yes.
Cool. When can we expect this to be released?
Soon.
Soon?
Yes. Late October, possibly early November if something goes horribly wrong.
Okay. Right, I'm going to send you off to the computers now to get set up.
Cool.
And in the meantime, I've just got one question. So if you can go over there. I've got one question for you guys. So we've been talking about reworks. What about Ports of Rim? Is that going to happen sometime, or?
It's I don't know where people hear about these things, but yeah, it's been talked about a bit. It's not actually finished. Like
it's less finished than Falador was.
Yeah. I mean, like Falador was pretty much complete for a while. Just needed QA. This still needs graphical work on Ports of Rim, and it's not just Ports of Rim that they've done as part of it, sort of thing. So there's a fair bit of work that needs to go into it. Some people have been asking that maybe the Ninja could pick up. We have one graphics artist and they are environmental artists. Yeah. So there is a possibility down the road, but not this year or anything. I'm not sure.
Okay, good to know.
Don't know if you disagree. Do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree. Sorry.
Cool. I don't know if Stu's ready for us or not. He is, I got the thumbs up. So we're going to go to computers and have a look at the Falador invasion.
So here we're on Falador, as you can see, rather pretty outside exterior city walls. There's also been a Kinshra camp established north Falador as well as one to the south. You can speak to an image of Lord Decarius here in order to find out the backstory to the event, why they're invading Falador, and also find out a little bit about the rewards and how you can participate. The Kinshra will be sending through knights from these camps to attack the White Knights that will also be reaching these contested zones here. And you can freely attack either. They will scale to your level, they'll use abilities, very much like the Battle of Lumbridge NPCs. The NPCs, once they die, will obviously give you combat XP, as well as an item called commendations. You have a limited number of commendations that you can collect per day, so this is the sort of thing you want to do for about half an hour or so each day and then come back. Commendations can be converted into supply caches, 100 commendations per supply cache. You open a supply cache and you'll get a random item of some kind. It might be an XP lamp or a mystery challenge bag with resources appropriate for your level, as well as a few unique items such as White Knight bobblehead pets, as well as a cosmetic banner, and a comedy kind of floss maul weapon. So, as an example, there's a little white knight, looking very cute. So we're going up to the updated Falador Castle here. You can see it's elevated on this rocky outcrop. You've got these details of the very pretty white knights. And there's our cute little fellow over there. As you can see, during the event, we've got these barricades set up. Things are on fire. There's a war going on of sorts. Well, at least a minor skirmish. And there's a few little unique details around here, like you can see the banners and the signs outside of the bank and so forth, help a little more with finding your way around. And then within the White Knight Castle itself, we've done a bit of updating as well. You can see that the White Knights themselves have been updated. We've even got female White Knights in there, so a bit of gender diversity. Representing. So in terms of some of the activities that you can engage in during the event, another thing is that you can heal injured soldiers. This you can do either for Herblore XP or for Constitution XP. You can right-click your accommodations for an option to configure what experience you get for the different activities. So another one is sabotaging catapults. You can do construction, or for some weird reason you might want to do woodcutting. Maybe you've maxed construction. If you're a combat pure, then there's an option to turn off the combat XP from attacking the black and white knights, should you just want the combinations. So I'll just do a quick run through the city. There'll also be another event going on in Falador Park involving the Sword of Radlin, but another team's taking care of that. We've updated various white knights as well. So, for example, you can see Sir Tiffy. Where are you, Tiffy? I've completely lost my bearings. There he is. Tiffy in his nice Temple Knight costume. Various roadways and the grass and so forth has been updated. And then we'll remove all of these barricades and the like after the 2-week event has ended. And then to the south there's another Kinshar camp, more wounded soldiers that you can heal on their side, as well as the catapults that you can sabotage. Hit it repeatedly with your hammer for construction XP and more accommodations. I'll quickly show you that candy floss maul that I mentioned earlier. That's similar to the Easter carrot from 2009 as a comedy weapon. Has the same sort of mechanics. You can save it in your toy box or reclaim it from Diango if you lose it. And then there's also the banner of Faradorn, which you'll be tracking down during a mini-quest across Falador, as well as banner fragments that you can collect from the supply caches to assemble another tier of the banner. And that's basically it.
Thumbs up from Kelpie there. Yeah, that looks really cool. Thanks a lot, Stu, for showing us that. Whilst you come back to the couch, Iron Man, how is it going to work for them? Is it work the same, or? I don't believe we have any Iron Man exceptions. If there's anything in there that you feel Iron Man shouldn't have, by all means, please let me know. I think we're still working out the rules of that to some extent.
Got a meeting to go over some guidelines for us with Iron Man content. It's a little bit belated, but sorry.
Mod Ramen.
Mod Ramen, yeah. Me and Mod Ramen are going to sit down and bash it out, as it were. But there's also talk of the fence as well.
Yes.
Wondering if the fence was still there.
Yes, the fence is still there. We did consider some things like having a couple of NPCs sword fighting, fencing over the fence, or someone sitting on the fence. Yeah, we de-scoped things of that nature. But the fence is still there. No one's touched the fence. But various NPCs around Falador have been updated as well. Just give them a bit of a touch-up, fixing some graphical glitches, that kind of thing.
Okay, perfect. Cool. I believe we've got a few questions about virtual leveling from the chat, so if you want to have a...
sure thing. Cool. So, Modmelio teased it earlier on. Let me just answer some of your questions. So, what about when you examine someone, if they're max with 120 defense, will it show 120 or 99? If both people have it turned on, then yes, when you examine someone, you can see like their skills up to 120. If you have it turned off, and then whenever you examine anyone, it will only go to 99.
Okay. That's what she was explaining earlier as well, I think.
Yeah. And then, will there be any quick chat options for virtual leveling? I don't believe so. It's very much the case that it's optional. If you opt in, then you can see everyone with like their 120 and stuff. If you opt out, you don't see any of it. So it's the same for fireworks. You'll get fireworks if you opt into it and you reach level 100 or whatever. You'll get the fireworks for it. But if no one else will be able to see those fireworks. It's just for you. So that's generally that's the principle of it. It is very much an opt-in thing. If you opt in, then you can see everyone else the way they've opted in. I think if you've opted in and someone else has opted out, then when you examine them, you'll still only see 99. I think that's how it works.
Okay, so if I opt in and you opt in, will I see your fireworks?
I'm not sure about fireworks.
Okay.
Just not sure how that's done, because that's a little bit different than displaying stuff on an interface. But yeah. Someone's asking about, do we get emotes for the 120 capes? No. There is none of that. How will it work with boosted stats? Will it show the boosted stats or the virtual level? I can't quite remember now. It was something that
we danced around it.
It reverts to 99 and then...
It reverts to 99.
And then shows the boosted.
And then shows the boosted, yeah. Because we had a good...
balance.
We had discussions about this and then we thought we got it right and then we were like, oh, hang on a second,
there were
what about
certain
the other way?
Yeah, if you drop down stats, it became a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, thanks for that. I think we'll go for a few more general questions. We've got about 10, 12 minutes left. And then we'll go for the Ninja Quickfire. So, Mr. Cool wants to know, what is the best approach for starting a new project? Do you think about the storyline for the characters, or do you jump into the mechanics first and focus on the gameplay?
Depends on the nature of the project. For example, Lord of Vampirium was very story focused, so we'd try to get the skeleton of what the player actually experiences, the characters that they engage with as the priority, and then we built mechanics around that, like the puzzles that you encounter and so forth. So it's not just talking to people the whole way through. Something like the Falador Invasion was a lot more mechanical, and the story was more of a framework to motivate the characters.
And I come to a project even earlier than that, weirdly. So we'll try to think about what the game needs, what would benefit the game most, and there's also variety. You want to make sure that everybody's catered for. Okay. So if we only had 3 quests in a given year, then we start thinking about quests. So you're making sure that you're catering for those various minorities.
Okay, but all quests, I guess, start with the story, then get the mechanics.
They'd at least start with certain key objectives that we want to achieve.
Yeah.
That we'll have certain core aims that you establish for us.
So many different ways of starting a quest. So, I've started quests where it's more about kind of a certain gameplay or a scenario that we're really interested in. Like Dishonor Among Thieves started from the idea that we just wanted to do a heist. We really liked the notion of being in a heist scenario. That'd be cool. And so it kind of grew from that.
And then it just blended into the 6th Age. And
we found a home for it.
Oh, cool. Christmas, are there going to be new rares this year?
Currently there's no rares planned, but we did, based on that question, we did start talking about it. But I'm not sure. We're currently, Mod Timber is currently designing the rewards for our Christmas events this year. So
is it still Algorithmus?
It's not Algorithmus.
It's not Algorithmus, definitely not. That's the one it's not going to be.
As much as Mod Timber wanted it to be, I think it got like 52% of people when we did a straw poll in chat, and 52% is not good enough for myself.
I'm pretty sure Mod Timber handed in his notice at that point. We had to say no to him.
He didn't.
Okay. So could the ribbon be made minimizable and that it could be removed free like the in-game clock and Slayer counter?
It's not going to be minimizable. I'm not sure about moving it around as easy as like some of those other things. I mean, it's kind of like just the other interfaces. It doesn't really feel like it needs to be done, to be honest.
Okay.
The reason why we wouldn't minimize it, I mean, to be quite honest, like there's some stuff on there that we want to be ever present on there, like your microtransactions button and stuff like that.
Okay.
But all those other stuff, like it's just simpler to always have like those settings menus and stuff constantly on screen for your overrides and your combat stuff and whatnot.
Okay. Is there any chance that we'll get some sort of client, like desktop client, that would since we've got loads of different versions of RuneScape now, that would be able to like centralize all of the launchers.
I think players really want it, especially with like the launch of Darkscape. I think we all really want it as well, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. Am I right?
Yeah.
We've briefly discussed this a few times recently, haven't we?
Yeah, that'd be a grand
Or at
idea.
least between yourself and Modconnor and stuff.
Yeah, Modconnor will be able to tell us more.
Okay. Domino wants to know, will there be any ports expansion? So this year or next year, I'm guessing, which is
It's
traditionally January, right?
Yeah, I like the notion. So when we did the poll, I was surprised how much people really like the notion of just expanding it. So not kind of PvP ports or submarines, all these extravagant ideas that we had.
Okay.
They just like the idea of extending it further out and having more customization options, things like that. And that's something that we can do with greater ease than say PvP ports. I'd like to do it next year. We're just going to have to see how it fits in. Certainly, a lot of people are going to be coming off their the last ports expansion, start to finish it next year. So it's about the right time too. Okay,
cool. Will there ever be another dungeon to Dungeoneer that isn't in Demonheim?
We've always, as soon as you start doing dungeoneering training methods that aren't in Demonheim, then I really feel that damages the skill. Okay. So we've got to make sure that whatever we do as an alternate dungeoneering training method, still keeps those core aims basically.
Okay.
Mod Timbo did come up with something fairly recently.
Yeah.
Which we won't discuss now.
Okay.
But we all quite liked it. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It just didn't in the end, it didn't really fit the content that we were trying to.
That feeling of an event, a dungeoneering event.
Yeah.
It really worked quite well. So that's something we could do in the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. What have we got here? Will Vic be returning anytime soon, or anytime at all?
He will return, but he's not going to return permanently, as far as I'm aware. He will return when the team wants him to return.
Okay.
It is meant to come and go sort of thing, and so he will keep returning every now and then.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly when he next is.
It's more of a question.
I think it's probably. I can't say for sure, but I think it's probably going to be next year, the next time.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
So there's a dev blog about the chat system in Ninja forums at the moment. Are there any of the proposed changes, suggestions that are happening or in development?
So yeah, we do have a dev blog. It's been in there for a good number of months. Listed a number of chat improvements. We were just talking about this the other day in the Ninja team. It's another project that's kind of got lost in the shuffle with some other stuff that's had to come up with Darkscape, but also things like the raffle and Christmas and such that kind of are time sensitive and need to be done. We always thought it'd be best if we developed all the updates and released them in one go, because it would have a greater impact. But because we are struggling to do much work on it, we think it's probably better that we actually just start splitting into Ninja fixes. Okay. There's some engine stuff that is required. Let's not wait for it. Let's start releasing some of the stuff in there. So
can you just examples of what has actually been mentioned in there for people who haven't
remember.
read this?
It's a whole load of
okay.
It's mainly usability type stuff with the chat stuff. I'm really hoping we can also get some maybe larger text sizes in there. But with the way everything works, there is only 3 sizes of font that we can possibly do. And so it's whether or not that will look good or not. And that will only be for chat, not for interfaces and stuff as well. So yeah, there's a number of stuff. Check out the blog if you want to see. You can still suggest stuff. Obviously in Ninja team, we're always open to suggestions and stuff. I think we do list what we're not going to work on and stuff as well.
Okay,
cool. But I think there was a big subject in Reddit this past week about searchable friends, because you can have up to 400 people on your friends list.
Yeah.
Obviously with Double XP weekend, there's a lot of people logged on. It's something that, in order to get that working, we will need to be able to change the filter to alphabetical first of all, in order to get the search working the same way the music playlist works.
Okay.
I believe. I mean, it's not something we've fully investigated, so it needs to be looked into, but it's possible.
But still
bit of work, but possible, and I think it's something we would want. Yeah.
Cool. With Darkscape being released and it having its own development sort of cycle, is anything ever going to be released from Darkscape into RS3? I don't know, something if something great comes into Darkscape, we're going to put it into RS3.
Yeah, potentially. In the same way that Darkscape is its own game, in the same way that RS3 and Old School are.
Yeah.
So like some people have been like on my Twitter and stuff asking like you can use it as a testing ground for combat, and I've replied, well, no, it is its own game sort of thing. So we'll do what's right for Darkscape. But in the same way that Old School introduces some stuff and we go, oh, that'd be good for RS3, we do that sort of stuff. So for example, I'm not sure if we mentioned it last week, but I believe Old School have a button on their POH that allows you to call the servant to wherever you are. That's a great feature. Let's get it into RS3. It's on our Ninja backlog, Ninja fixes sort of thing. So in the same sort of way, if there's some cool stuff works, then yeah, we can potentially bring that stuff into RS3.
Okay, cool. Ninja quickfire time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Can we add more monsters to the Slayer counter? For example, Celestials, Water Fiends, and Elves.
Yes, but don't want to overload the interface.
Okay. Can we remove the Red Clan Wars portal?
No.
Since burned food is now stackable, any chance you could make Poison Kawambwan stackable as well?
No, I believe it still heals you.
Okay. Can you increase the battle staff by limit from the G from 100 to 1,000?
Yes.
Is that something we could do for other items as well? Because I saw a whole list of them on Reddit.
It'd be an item by item case. We'll need to go for it.
Cool. Can we add the waterfall fishing teleport on Elf City Quiver 4?
No.
Can you make golden barrel sets tradable for other golden barrel sets so we can make...
It's asked every time, so never. No. We're like, I know there's a lot of things. Obviously, like the last weekend was the last chance to win golden barrels. People are unhappy that they haven't won anything. People are unhappy that they've won the wrong type that they wanted. I didn't win anything. And like, I helped design this stuff, and I really wanted the golden barrel stuff, and I didn't get any. It's not going to happen.
Okay. Can we retain the crystal flask from the Supreme Overload potion when making the Supreme Overload salve, since it's another crystal flask required to make it?
No, it's meant to be destroyed. Crystal flask works.
Is it at all possible to exchange silver Castle Wars tickets for golden ones in the future, even at a low exchange rate?
No.
Very low?
No.
Okay. Any chance you could add a right-click cook option to Prisoner's Bonfire?
I'm sure someone said no to us before.
We looked into it and I can't remember why.
I'm sure, I can't remember. Like, I think we'd, let's say maybe. We'll talk about it afterwards. People are saying I'm salty. Well, maybe I'm a bit salty about not winning golden. I'm a bit salty about not winning golden outfits, I guess, but it's quickfire, so let's be quick.
Can we get a Heidi Hill for Glariol's Pebble next to Glariol's Tomb?
No.
On the legacy interface setting, can we get potion timers, familiar timers, etc., like on the EOC interface?
Legacy interface. It's meant to be as it was in Legacy.
Can we have the ability to fully leave factions instead of just swapping to another one? I think it's talking about like Guardian Mercenaries.
Yeah. It's seems like it might be a bit of work for little gain, so I'm going to probably say no to that.
Okay. ETL and a toggle option for permanent nighttime dusk.
No idea.
No idea. Can we increase the click area on Tyrann when tripwire? Sorry.
Yes.
ET on Dark Knight fixed.
Hopefully next week. Hopefully next week for Dark Light.
Dank
Light.
Mod Rolly's been working on it, and the Ninja QA guys have been testing it. So hopefully next week we shall see. we thought it was all broken, and it turns out we had actually somehow broken accuracy in our test stream. So that kind of set us back a little bit, but maybe.
And a couple of quick fires from the chat. We've got, can the final boss fight against General Grado and the Mighty Fall be changed to allow Death Touch darts to be used?
I'll need to speak to Timber about that.
Can outfit choices from Thessalia's clothes shop be added to the customization interface too?
No.
And that is it for our Ninja Quickfires.
I just said no to the last one, I wasn't sure, so be safe and say no.
Dank Light hype.
Surprise people later on.
Hype. All right, I think that's all just about what we've got time for. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning. We have a community stream this evening, which is actually hosted by the player support team. It's a bot busting stream at Mod Balance. Who cares about Mod Balance? Who's he? Sorry, ooh, salty.
Isn't he your boss?
Don't be rude.
Technically, he's my boss. So yeah. So it's at 8 o'clock game time. And that's about it from us. Have you got any final words about Falador Invasion? Or
I did rattle through Falador very quickly, so if you have any questions about the event or the rework, please tweet me at JagXStew, and I'll be happy to answer your questions.
Cool. Have you got anything you want to put your RuneFest card on again?
No, I'm putting my RuneFest card back in the pocket for next week.
Perfect.
Seeing a few Darkscape questions in the chat. We do have the Darkscape Dev Q&A tomorrow at the same time as this one. Yeah, there's forms to ask you questions, Reddit as well, Twitter as well. Thank you. And then Ninja panel at Darkscape at RuneFest. Check out the Ninja subform to ask us some questions to prepare us for that.
Okay, cool. Right. Bye, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Bye. See you next week.